Hi, watching Movie Guide. I'm your host, Evie Bear Carroll, and we're on the set of The Chosen. They're filming season 3, and we're gonna check it out right now.
You guys are even bringing this out in theaters with us Can you talk more about that?
Well, I think every step of this has been following one of our theme verses, which is in Isaiah 43:19. It says, "Behold, I am doing a new thing." And everything about The Chosen has been a new thing. The way that it's been distributed, the way that it's been financed, the content itself. This isn't going to be traditional. What can we do that maybe hasn't been done before? And the concept of putting our couple episodes in theaters, no TV show does that, but we're like, why not? What's wrong with that? Why wouldn't it? If people want to go see it in theaters and the theaters are looking for more content, why wouldn't we do that? And we dipped our toes in the waters last Christmas when we put a Christmas special, which was essentially an episode of television combined with about 10 or 11 music videos. And we put that in theaters we thought was going to be for one night. Then it became 2 nights, and it became 10. And we ended up doing 10 times the box office that anyone expected. So we're like, okay, there's an appetite here. So we're going to debut season 3, the first 2 episodes in theaters, and try something new and figure out something that we haven't done before at this level. And if it works, we keep going. We're going wherever God parts the seas towards.
Now, you guys have chosen these very heavy themes, which are beautiful themes, but you've got a spectrum of healing, like the concept of healing, or doubt even, or, everything that Mary Magdalene goes through. And so how do you deal with those things when you're preparing those scripts and stuff? Because they're very heavy themes, but they're accessible to, all ages, really.
Yeah, and that's a key decision that we've made from the beginning is we're pursuing authenticity. And as a believer, I have experienced, and every human being has experienced, that whether you're following Jesus or not, life doesn't necessarily become easier. You have to learn the difference between joy and happiness. Happiness comes sometimes when your favorite team wins a game, but that doesn't necessarily mean that when your child is very sick, or your marriage is in crisis, or you're having a personal sin struggle and vice that you can't seem to overcome no matter how much you pray. What then? And season 3, we dive into that more than we do even in the first 2 seasons. Little James, who's disabled and hasn't been healed yet, if he ever gets healed. We have Simon and Eden with a significant marital struggle, and wondering, why isn't Jesus making this better? I'm following Jesus now. I'm giving myself up for Jesus. And it seems like he's healing and blessing all these other people, including Gentiles, not even people of our own chosen people. And I'm still struggling. What is that about? And I think that those hard questions have to be asked. And when they're not asked and when they're not pursued, I think the audience, particularly those who are outside the faith, go, okay, I might be willing to accept this faith if I thought that it had something for me, but my struggles don't seem to be answered by platitudes and by political protests and by, a nice, sweet movie that, answers maybe a small question but doesn't answer my real heart's cry. And that's what we try to come after in season 3 especially.
Great things about Christianity and Jesus's ministry is, the women. And so can you talk more about season 3 in terms of, I know that the women have a big voice in it. So
yes,
can you talk more about that?
We do. I think the women, we've got a story to tell. I think there's just power, when women genuinely get together and are there for each other. And I think you'll see some of that too in season 3 and where they take it. It's been so great to see it written on script, but then to actually get to play it and have it come to life. I think the audience is going to love it too, and the stories behind it and the inspiration too.
Was that one of the reasons you decided to do this project?
Yes. So when I got the scripts to read, I actually auditioned for Mary Magdalene first.
Okay.
I know probably a lot of people don't know that, but it resonated with me. Even Mary's story, the story of struggle and not knowing your way and then finding Jesus and being redeemed, that I connected with right away. So I knew the story was beautiful. And then when I had to audition for Eden, it fit, like everything. Wow. It was a better fit. It's almost as if God will write things for you in a sense too. And even the story of how I booked that was almost a God story in itself. Just my journey personally has really God has had his hands in my life before The Chosen, and then even getting me to The Chosen.
Have you felt like you've had personal growth over the last couple of years that you've been on this show?
Sure, yeah. I started this show from a point of depression and some despair, and then I feel like I've been able to mature and grow with Mary over the years, and you want to bring honor to this character, and you want to bring your own understanding to this character too. As an actor, you just want to do it right. And in order to do that, I almost feel like I have to adjust to, who I am as a person, and I need to, grow with her in order to do it justice. And I feel like it just, she's kind of becoming a role model for me, I guess.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
I love that. One of the great things is that it's has a deeper meaning there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it gives people hope.
It does.
And all of the things that Jesus offers. And so, what does that mean to you?
I mean, honestly, that's what we're all searching for. We're kind of going out on this daily life, searching for meaning. What am I doing here? What's happening? I'm carrying this heavy burden. And I think what the show does, The Chosen does so well, is that because even though it's following the life of Christ, it's doing it from all of those around him. And so it's giving a very human perspective of a very divine presence. And it makes it so relatable. And I think that's why the people love it so much, because it's oh, that's me. I've been there. I've been that broken person. I've been that weighted person. And that's what makes it such a great series and addicting for anyone from any faith, or even those without it. You can't turn it off.
I love that they do follow the women so closely and have their own story. And that's
season 3.
The amazing. Oh, really?
Yes, ma'am. Season 3, you're gonna see a lot more of the ladies come in, and you're gonna see we're getting not only just more established as characters, but their personalities and their backgrounds and the struggles and conflicts that we go through as women that are really unique to us. And we're gonna see that, and it's gonna really relate to a lot of people. You know what I mean?
And you guys, have a huge fan base or huge following of people who watch the show. Have you come across anyone that has expected you to be a certain way because your character's a certain way?
So when I talk to my castmates, they have interactions with fans, and someone will come up to them and say, "Oh, this was so inspiring.
Right.
I've loved your journey." There's all these heartfelt interactions. Right. Anytime I have a fan interaction, it's you. So I get a lot of really fun fan interactions. Yeah. I get, you're the person I love to hate. And a lot of people really respond to the kind of sarcasm and dryness that Quintus brings to the table and brings to these scenes. The honeymoon is over with the people who are following Jesus, right? There are real consequences to following him. So there's going to be some darkness. And with that darkness, the hope has to burn a little bit brighter. And I think people are really going to respond to both of those things.
How has the journey been over even the last couple years of you doing this?
The Chosen genuinely has been one of the biggest catalysts for me in terms of accepting myself, and that's because I was forced to be more vulnerable than I ever had been by allowing myself to limp on camera and to not trying to hide it and shining a spotlight on my biggest insecurity. But in doing that and expressing some of those frustrations in season 2 of The Chosen as my character, I was also expressing them for the first time as myself publicly, because I never really talked about it much before. But as soon as I did that, it helped me realize that I'm not alone in my struggles. And that's kind of what started me on the journey of not viewing that as a weakness and viewing it as a strength.
And how has this journey been for you in terms of, faith over the last couple of years? Personally,
we were premiering Christmas with The Chosen last fall in November, and I got to speak with some family members before the premiere. And after speaking with this family, they start to go into the theater, and these 2 little boys had to be 7 or 8 years old, rush up and just wrap their arms around me and say thank you. And I've never been affected like that, especially to see that in the younger generation. I was never affected by that Christian media growing up. And just to see the love and kindness Thaddeus portrays, and to see that reflected in the younger generation watching, it's the best gift I could receive, honestly.
So what are you guys hoping for this season? I've heard that I'm supposed to ask about the 2x2.
Oh, yeah.
Explain this to me, or what's coming up with the 2x2.
Well, what's really exciting is on November 18th, it's going to be premiering season 3 of The Chosen in theaters all across the United States, all English-speaking territories in the world. But that will feature the 2x2, where Jesus sends us out 2x2, all the disciples out to kind of spread the word. And stakes are a lot higher, so obstacles are going to come up that we were not expecting.
Yeah, there's some odd pairings and interesting pairings in those 2x2 groups. And, the fact that we're being sent out by Jesus in season 3 to go heal people and to preach. The healing people in particular, though, is something that sticks out to little James, since he hasn't been healed. So it'll be fun to explore how he responds to that.
Would you at least know him if you saw him again?
I will know him for the rest of my life.